CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Good evening, I'm Joe Perkins. Hudson Mack is off tonight. A body found on the shore near Maple Bay yesterday has been confirmed as a Brentwood Bay boater who went missing over Christmas. Timothy Hollins was last seen on Christmas Day. He was rowing out to the anchored boat he lived on in Todd Inlet. The next day, a friend found Hollins' dog, rowboat, and anchored vessel, but no sign of the 52-year-old. He called police and a search was launched, but after 3 days of scouring the shoreline, there was no sign of Hollins. Investigators believe he fell overboard and say they don't suspect foul play in the man's death. Well, if you are going outdoors with small children or pets, Saanich police have a warning for you tonight. Be on the lookout for a couple of cougars seen prowling around. Police spotted a cougar just after 4 this morning in Saanich. Officers received the report of a large cat in the 100 block of Battleford Avenue. Officers were unable to track the cat, but say it wasn't shy and even stalked their cruiser for a bit. This follows a previous sighting from last night in the 800 block of Seamus Place. Police say based on descriptions, they believe there are 2 different cougars on the prowl.
They were in different geographical locations within the community, so it's difficult to ascertain whether these are one and the same animals. However, the descriptions do differ. Other than being furry with a long tail, I guess size-wise, one is described as perhaps being quite young versus the one that we encountered near the Trans-Canada Highway, which was a significant size.
Conservation officers have been alerted and are doing some patrols in the area. If you come face to face with a cougar, make yourself as big as possible, make lots of noise, and slowly back away. Do not turn your back. We brought you BC's residential assessment last night. Tonight, we can show you the most valuable piece of commercial real estate in the capital region. The BC Assessment Authority says Uptown Shopping Centre is #1. The highest assessment in the commercial category shows Uptown is appraised at just under $240 million. Mayfair Shopping Centre follows, being appraised at $179 million, and Hillside is almost $128 million. 7 of the top 10 properties are shopping centres. The BC Assessment Authority estimates market values for all properties in a variety of categories, and this is for tax purposes. The West Shore RCMP is asking for your help in finding a driver of a vehicle that struck an 11-year-old boy. It happened at the intersection of Jacqueline Road and Station Avenue on December 30th, around 2:30 in the afternoon. The young boy and his parents were crossing to Dunford Avenue using a marked crosswalk. When the adults looked back, the boy had fallen behind. The child was waiting to cross at the south marked crosswalk. Instead, when the pedestrian light lit up, the boy stepped out and was struck by a female driving a gray Volvo station wagon.
It was a sunny, clear day, so we're hoping that somebody saw this young person crossing the road. His parents crossed on the north side using the marked crosswalk, and he was on the south side crosswalk, and they crossed before him. They looked back and saw it happen, so we're hoping that there was others that saw it as well.
The 11-year-old boy suffered minor injuries. His parents took him to their family doctor. Anyone with any information is asked to call West Shore RCMP. The Alzheimer's Society of Canada has a warning. Too many people are dismissing signs of dementia and delaying necessary treatment. The organization says many people just consider signs like memory loss a normal part of getting older. In a survey of nearly 1,000 caregivers, about half said their loved ones waited a year or longer before going to the doctor. The society says that delay is holding up care and preventing people from getting medication and counseling on time.
Getting a diagnosis of dementia can be really scary for people. The findings make sense given what we hear from the families that we talk to. We all misplace things, but a person with dementia might put them in a really odd place. For example, putting car keys in the freezer or putting the milk in the cupboard.
The Victoria Alzheimer's Society says getting diagnosed with the disease can be very scary for people. If you have a loved one who is living with Alzheimer's, you're not alone. There is support for you. You can find it at alzheimerbc.org. That storm knocked out power to thousands of people on the Mid-Island today, including most of Gabriola Island. BC Hydro says most of the outages were caused by trees falling on wires, and most had been restored by the end of the day. Ferries were also cancelled because of the weather. The Comox to Powell River route and the Port Hardy to Bella Bella and Prince Rupert route were both affected. Nanaimo RCMP are investigating what may be a serial pepper sprayer after the second random attack in less than 1 month. Two men in their early 20s were waiting for a bus near Hammond Bay and Applecross Roads last night. Suddenly, someone pulled up in a silver SUV and unleashed a can of pepper spray on them. After temporarily blinding and disorienting the two men, the vehicle sped away before anyone could see the license plate or the attackers.
They didn't know what to do, so they got on their bus and carried on to the Country Club Mall, where they called the police. I've talked to the youth. One guy is not feeling very well today. He's not going into work. The other kid's doing much better. We don't know why. It seems like it's a random attack of just sheer stupidity.
Just before Christmas, 3 teenagers were pepper sprayed in a wooded area behind Seaview Elementary School, and in that attack as well, there appeared to be no motive. One of the victims of last night's attack says he doesn't have any idea why he was targeted.
My friend, coworker, Braden, were at the bus stop just over here by the Quiznos, right beside Pizza Hut, and we were talking away there, and then next thing you know, like, there's no cars around, and this silver SUV just comes up out of nowhere and just sprays us. Like, we couldn't see who it was. It had black tinted windows, so like standing there, and then all of a sudden we get sprayed. Next thing you know, we're on the ground.
If you have any information about who could be behind the pepper spraying, you're asked to contact Nanaimo RCMP or Crime Stoppers. A Ladysmith man has now been charged with possession of child pornography more than a year after RCMP raided his home and his business. At the time, police said it was the largest seizure of child pornography in Vancouver Island history. They say more than 1 million images were found in the search. 65-year-old Bruce Alexander Rogers is due in court later this month. Rogers is seen here in a YouTube video promoting his powder coating business, which is based in Cedar. Police say the lengthy delay in laying charges is due to the sheer volume of evidence that needed to be reviewed.
It's extremely disturbing. They're horrific images of pornographic images of children, and as I said, there's hundreds of thousands, and many were downloaded from the internet. And it's painstaking time, and it takes its toll on the investigators involved in these types of investigations.
We use a laser-based.
Police say there is a strong likelihood that more charges will be laid against Bruce Rogers. A Nanaimo nursing home has issued layoff notices to 150 employees. The staff at Malaspina Gardens have been told they will be out of jobs in 6 months and that their work will be contracted out. The hospital employees union is furious over the move, saying the seniors who live in the home will have their health and continuity of care jeopardized. They accuse the company that operates the home of protecting its profit margin before the people it is supposed to serve.
I feel that people just have to start stepping up to help the seniors, to keep them safe and let them have quality of care that they deserve. And the fact that people have worked here for over 30 years says a lot about the place. And I think that we should all stand together and try to stop this from happening.
The HEU points out that the company that runs the home, Chartwell Seniors Housing, will continue to receive public funding for it and will be able to profit by hiring lower paid workers to fill the positions. Well, the Harmac Mill is branching out and getting into the business of clean energy. Starting in 2013, the employee-owned company will begin generating clean power and selling it to BC Hydro. Hydro has signed a 15-year deal with Nanaimo Forest Products, the company that owns Harmac, to purchase clean energy from a new 25-megawatt turbo generation unit that's being built at the mill site. The new unit will produce electricity from wood biomass and efficiencies within the pulping process, using recaptured steam energy to help power the generator. The construction phase will create 85 full-time jobs over an 18-month period. Harmac says while pulp mills and green energy aren't a traditional business model, they could be in the future.
It gives us another revenue stream, but it's also green energy, and that's good for the province. The more energy that is made through green technology is great. And, you know, to create 85 jobs for 18 months is a good thing for our community, too. So when we looked at it, we said, yeah, $45 million is a big investment, but it's worth it, and we wanted to go ahead with it.
Once the project is complete, it will generate enough electricity to power more than 17,000 homes per year. A boil water order has been issued for the entire district of Tofino. Anyone using water from Tofino's system is advised to boil it for at least 2 minutes before drinking it or using it for cooking or even brushing your teeth. The system is being continually monitored, and the order will be lifted as soon as the water is deemed safe again, but it is in effect until further notice.